So when owners come to us to have their dogs trained, we let them know none of this stuff is cookie cutter. Your dogs are individuals and we treat them as such. And so, yes, there are some basic fundamentals with dog ownership, right, that sort of apply to every dog and every dog owner. But there's a lot of what goes into our training program and, our colleagues that is very individualized. Like, this is specific for your family and your dog. And this is why we recommend this. And so I tell my owners, when we work together, we're building a recipe. We're creating a recipe so that you and your dog can be the most successful based on your dynamic with each other. Let me give you this example. My cousin makes these chocolate chip cookies that are literally like, they're the best I've ever had. And she has one ingredient in her chocolate chip cookies that sets hers apart from the rest, which is a packet of vanilla pudding powder that she puts in the mix. So if I'm hungry for chocolate chip cookies and I'm sitting around the house and I'm like, you know what, I think I'm going to make chocolate chip cookies. And I get Emily's recipe out of the cabinet and I'm reading the recipe card and I set out the flour and the brown sugar and I'm getting it all set up. And I realized, shoot, I don't have vanilla pudding powder mix. But I'm too lazy to get in my truck and go down to the store and get the vanilla pudding powder mix to make her recipe of chocolate chip cookies. And so I just omit that ingredient and I carry on making the chocolate chip cookies. What's true, I'm going to make cookies. I'm going to make chocolate chip cookies. But the moment that I omitted that ingredient, I'm no longer making her chocolate chip cookies. I'm not following her recipe, and so I'm no longer making her chocolate chip cookies. And tying that back into dog training, when your dog trainer gives you a recipe for success and says, you like the work we do? You like the products we put out? You like the message we have? Awesome. Here's our recipe. Here's your recipe to get you that result that you love so much. But the moment that you omit one of those ingredients, you're no longer following our recipe. Will you get a version of the product that we put out? Yeah, of course. But you're not going to get your expectations as it relates to the products that we put out. You're not going to meet that because you've omitted one or two of our ingredients, right? So let's give you an example. If we say to an owner, you know what? This dog needs to be crated every day when you leave the house. And an owner goes, I don't want to do that. Cool. Good. They're your dogs. You have the agency to do whatever you want. But the moment you omit that ingredient from the recipe, you're no longer making our chocolate chip cookies. In other words, you're no longer going to get the results that we have. You're going to get some results, but not the results you're hoping for. So think about that. If you're a client of ours, if you work with us, you're considering working with us, or you've worked with another dog trainer, consider that. There's a reason that your dog trainer gave you the recipe they did. Especially like with us, I'll tell you, we're not just throwing out arbitrary comments. There's a reason. And as soon as you omit one of those things, you'll see it in the results.